It's Nikki, and I am the most excited to review with you another Star Wars set. So this here is the New Republic EWing versus Shin Hati Starfighter set, and honestly, you guys, out of all the Ahsoka sets, it has to be the one that I was the least looking forward to. In all fairness, as a big Rebels fan, that ghost ship, like, oh my eyes are wide and set on it. I cannot wait to pick it up on September 1st. While we're on the topic of that, I did want to say a big thank you to my friend Lucky Bricks for sending this over to me early for review, and so that I could share it with you guys. This set will be releasing for about $110 US and comes with 5 really great figures that I am actually very excited about. As you may know, if you are also watching the show, the 3rd episode just came out on Tuesday night, and we did finally get to see Shin Starfighter, which was perfect for me because I can give you a more accurate review in my opinion just based on what I saw. So now just quickly talking about the minifigures here, I do want to start off with my favorites, and those are definitely going to be Baylan and Shin. I really like these figures, but I will say that a major flaw that I see both of them not having are the capes. I think that they really needed to have them in this set. Shin honestly looks pretty great even with the absence of it. I love the Padawan braid just printed on the side of her torso printing there. The hairpiece chosen for her was also without a doubt the right choice. It's perfect. Next up we have Baylan, who does also look great. He's another favorite character of mine, but what I will say right off the bat is I don't really know why he has the green accents on his torso printing, because as close as I've looked, I just cannot see that in this character's outfit. So I wouldn't exactly call that accurate. I'm not saying it looks bad, just not accurate. My final critique is that unfortunately these two do not come with orange lightsabers. Now, I know that in the show, they are mostly red. I also don't think that the LEGO designers were probably privy to the knowledge that they were orange lightsabers. That was probably open for them to interpret, and let's be honest, unless you kind of know the lore and everything, you wouldn't really see that. It's more apparent now watching the show, but especially in that trailer and whatever images they may have gotten, it probably wasn't super obvious. That being said, red also isn't that far off, but I think I will be purchasing 2 transparent orange pieces just because I know that they're supposed to be orange and I would really like them to be represented that way. Next up, we have the New Republic astromech droid, and he is without a doubt one of my favorite new droids. I love getting these figures in these sets, but the colors of this one, he reminds me of that droid in Galaxy's Edge, and I just think he looks great. Only downside is he doesn't have any back printing. Morgan Elsbeth also looks fantastic, but the one thing that I actually can't get over is the fact that she doesn't have any skirt printing. I think that there at the very least needed to be Bellatrix skirt, simple lines or something. It's just not right not having this half Night Sister character not having any skirt printing at all, especially since her torso printing does look so detailed. It just looks like this weird cutoff, and I'm not a big fan of that. But her face printing and her hairpiece are both perfect. Only problem for me is the skirt. Finally, we have our new character, Captain Porter, and I think that he is a really cool looking fighter pilot. I love the uniform, I love the helmet, it's pretty good printing. Nothing especially different than what we've seen actually. He does also come with a hairpiece and a second face printing so that you don't have the goggles on one side. And he also looks good. It's as I said, I honestly think that the capes for me, for the 2 Jedi, and then Morgan's skirt, those are the big ones in my opinion. And I'm not a big fan of the fact that they're absent, but they are good looking figures. So for one, I will just say, I love when LEGO makes these double ship sets. It makes me so happy because I love having the 2 of them to compare, having a couple sets to go together. It's just the best. That being said, I am going to start off with my favorite here, and that is Shin Starfighter. I was just instantly drawn to the colors of the ship, not to mention the fact that it's flown by my favorite character. I honestly think accuracy-wise and everything, it looks really good. I think it was designed well. It does have a few sticker pieces, but the cockpit piece is printed on there, which is good. The only flaw I have with it that I will share right off the bat is that it doesn't come with any retractable or any sort of landing gear. It does have these pieces here that can kind of be used to support it. But when you have it next to the EWing that does have proper landing gear, which I love when that comes in a LEGO set, it does just kind of stand out for me. So nothing really to show for this one on the bottom. If you look behind the cockpit area, there is a little storage unit with a clip piece where you can attach Shin's lightsaber. It is my favorite thing ever when they have little hidden compartments for you to put their lightsabers, the extra blasters. So I love the fact that that was included. On the side, you will notice that there are a couple of stud shooters. I also really like the engine. It's just such a cool design. The build of it was super interesting as well. I was just a big fan of the technique and the way that it turned out. And if you'll notice next to the blasters, literally just above it, there is actually a second storage compartment, and it's actually very cool because you can open it up a little further and get to the secret storage compartment. So it's kind of like this interesting double whammy. You can see I have a blaster hidden in there now. But if you take that out, there is actually room enough for you to hide a minifigure, which is really cool. So let's say you have Shin driving. We'll go ahead and tuck in Baylan. Can see him in there nice and snug. And it closes perfectly fine. So there you go. We asked for extra minifigure space and we got one. It's actually kind of funny since this is like definitely just a one-person cockpit. No one else can fit in the ship, but this one they did actually give us the courtesy of having room for an extra figure. And that's how it looks with Shin in there piloting. And you do kind of have to have Shin laying down there, unfortunately, which I don't love because I don't think she's really that far leaned back. But overall, I really like it. I'm a big fan of the design. I love the colors. It's really fun again getting to compare this after seeing it in the show for the first time for me literally last night. And with the extra storage plus room for a figure in there, I mean, that's pretty good. Next up, we have the EWing, which I do also really like. If you'll notice, I did have it propped up already. So the landing gear is right there. There's one in the front, two in the back. I'll show you. I'll give you a better visual of that. And if you'll notice the way you can kind of retract the landing gear there, just kind of folding in the pieces on the side, works really well. But I love the fact that it basically comes with its own stand, because I do buy stands for many of my Lego Star Wars ships, so that is just so handy. The design for the EWing I do think is also very accurate. I really like the folded wings and the way that they put that together. This one does also come with a couple of stud shooters on the side. There is a printed cockpit piece, room enough for one pilot, and behind that you can see where the astromech buddy fits in quite nicely. That's how they look together in there. And now beneath the cockpit area is where the storage compartment is located. I actually took it off with the pilot here. Captain Porter, named character, he's Captain Porter. And you can see just beneath where the seat was, there's a little bit of room, not too much, but definitely enough for like helmet, hairpiece, blaster. This one for me is a little bit more simple, but I mean, I do also really like the clean design. I think it's a very good size, and just comparing the two, Shin's is definitely just a little bit smaller, but not by much. I would say the EWing is also heavier, probably has a few more pieces. But of the two, Shin's is still my favorite. I just think the design is more fun. I think I like that it looked a little bit like an N1 Starfighter. I know that some people were actually speculating before we got a closer look that that's what this was going to be. Pros and cons for each. This one here does have the retractable landing gear, which I am definitely in favor of having. Again, I find it so helpful, but also it just really ups the displayability of these sets. Shin's, on the other hand, for whatever reason, I love having extra storage. Not that I think it's that big of a deal, because I do display kind of everything, but having room for the blasters, like playability wise, that's just really useful. And the room for the extra figure is incredibly cool as well. And for me, overall, her design just kind of wins out. Another thing I will note about Shin Starfighter is that the blaster in the storage compartment, the instruction manual was very specific to tell us to put it in there. So I don't know if that means that that's going to have some sort of meaning in a future episode. It certainly could, but that's a little, I don't know, Easter egg, I guess, maybe for future reference. All in all, for $110, you guys, with 5 really great minifigures. Again, not without their flaws, but I still really like them because I think they look so cool. And it's probably the only Baylan figure that will ever come from this show. I mean, if they make another set, it's possible, but there's not going to be Baylan in any future seasons, as unfortunately he did pass away. So that does make that minifigure quite rare right off the bat. And the other 4 are winners on top of it. So for $110, 2 ships and 5 minifigures, I think is honestly pretty good. If you want to wait for a sale, that's always a possibility, especially on Amazon. Target has like Lego sale days. You can always wait out for those. But as far as Lego sets go day one, I honestly think that this is a pretty decent deal, and I don't always think that, but I would feel comfortable spending my money on this one day one. But of course, do let me know what your thoughts are on this set and those minifigures. For me, it's honestly like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I'm a big fan. It really won me over more than I thought it was going to. It's not gonna beat the Ghost. No way. But I still really like it. But on that note, if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. It means the world to me. Comment down below which of the 2 ships in this set are your favorite, the EWing or Shin Starfighter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.